Now on the CTV News at 5.
I think that they're listening.
Lethbridge residents have their say at the Alberta Next town hall. Plus, Alberta is overhauling supports for people with disabilities. And remembering the fallen heroes.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us. It was Lethbridge's turn last night to host the Alberta Next panel. It's the latest in a series of town halls led by the Premier, who faced a mostly supportive crowd. But as Carson Marsouk reports, there were also criticisms of the government's direction.
Premier Danielle Smith was in Lethbridge Thursday night to take the public's temperature on the province's relationship with Ottawa.
But are we at a point now where we should be taking care of more of this business? I happen to think yes.
Throughout the Alberta Next town hall, the panel covered 6 proposals with the aim of taking greater control over immigration, a provincial police force, sovereignty, and the Canadian pension plan.
When people say stay in our own lane, well, these are our lanes. This is our lanes. If you look at the Constitution, Quebec is the only one who is, I think, fully exercising all of its area of constitutional authority.
Many throughout the room of about 600 overwhelmingly supported the ideas.
I don't like what the feds are doing, the federal government, Mark Carney, all that jazz. He's an idiot. He doesn't deserve to be a prime minister. And I want him out, and if he doesn't get out, I want Alberta out.
I was born here, and we live here now. We're retired. I believe that Alberta should have a better shot.
The panel was met with both applause and boos as people asked questions.
The UCP has scared off foreign investment, threatened jobs, and caused layoffs which only serve to hurt the economy. Now is not the time for division.
Albertans have ridden this roller coaster for way too long. We want off. The only effective option left is a fair referendum on Alberta independence.
The town hall was the 7th of 10 in-person meetings. Those in Lethbridge feel the Premier is listening.
I think that they're listening. You know, it's a matter of, this is step one. What happens after they listen, and do they hear and are able to implement it into all these other areas?
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The Alberta Next town hall will be in Airdrie on Monday, followed by the Calgary one at the end of the month. Alberta is overhauling supports for people with disabilities. The government says it's about opportunity. Advocates say it is about cuts. The Alberta government plans to replace AISH with a new Alberta Disability Assistance Program, or ADAP, in 2026. Now, the change will lower monthly benefits by $200 and change how much people can earn before deductions. The government promises health benefits will remain, along with new training, job placements, and case management. Disability advocates say it won't work, and many will be forced further into poverty.
Thinking that we're going to be able to generate potentially 30,000 plus jobs for people with disabilities in Alberta, and they'll be able to earn enough to actually be better off than if they didn't even touch AISH as it is right now, is simply not going to happen.
In a written statement to CTV, the province defends the change, saying ADAP will give Albertans with disabilities more opportunity to work while continuing to receive the supports they rely on. A 34-year-old Lethbridge man is facing charges in connection to the alleged assault of a senior after a bicycle theft. Cameron Hamilton is charged with aggravated assault, uttering threats, and theft under $5,000. On Wednesday, an 80-year-old man was assaulted and suffered life-threatening injuries after confronting the man he believed stole his bicycle. Police say the subject punched the elderly man, causing him to fall backward and hit his head on the pavement. Due to the extent of the senior's injuries, he was airlifted to hospital in Calgary, where he remains in serious condition. Witnesses provided images of the suspect to police, who were able to identify that person as Hamilton. A Calgary man is accused of luring a 12-year-old Lethbridge girl and sexually assaulting her. Calgary police have arrested and charged Yanger Ali Samir. Lethbridge police say in April, a girl was picked up by a man who befriended her online. The 12-year-old was taken to a short-term rental where she was sexually assaulted repeatedly. Investigators believe there may be additional victims. The players acquitted in the Hockey Canada sexual assault trial have now been given a date for when they can return to the NHL. After their suspensions end on December 1st, they can return to the league. The players, who are all unrestricted free agents, can sign with the team as early as October the 15th as they wait for full reinstatement. The NHL has been reviewing the judge's findings since they were acquitted on all charges on July the 24th. And police have charged an 18-year-old who has been shoplifting from Lethbridge's Park Place Shoppers Drug Mart for nearly a month. But what was stolen may surprise you. James St. Pierre Eagle Tail Feathers is suspected of stealing over $2,000 worth of dairy products between August 8th and the 30th. Large quantities of milk and ice cream were stolen from the Shoppers Drug Mart. On August 30th, police saw a suspect who matched the description of the shoplifter. Eagle Feathers was arrested and charged with 10 counts of theft under $5,000. He was released on the condition he could not go to the mall, but was arrested on Wednesday after he broke those conditions. He will appear in court today. Alberta's Court of Appeal is reviewing the case involving two men serving time for their roles in the Coutts border blockade. Anthony Olenek and Chris Carbert were sentenced to 6.5 years for mischief and weapon possession. Olenek was also convicted of possessing a pipe bomb. The jury found them not guilty of conspiring to kill RCMP officers. The men want the appeal court to overturn their convictions or reduce their sentence. No word when a decision will be handed down. A couple of cowboys helped wrangle two very dangerous and aggressive bulls in Coaldale this morning. The bulls escaped from their trailer near the Prairie Wind Secondary School while being transported. RCMP say thanks to the grit and rugged skills of the cowboys, Jared and Dustin, along with their dog, the bulls were rounded up and then back in their trailer around 8:30 this morning. Jared and Dustin say it was all hands on deck.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just we're trying to keep them calm and not escalate the situation. Yeah, if it was in a residential area where there's people, it would be dangerous, right? Yeah.
Well, one bull we had to put ropes on to get it into the trailer. Yeah. It was a little bit more heads up trying to run at you, but the other one, he jumped into the trailer quite easy. So,
after being rounded up, the bulls were then taken back to their farm. The weekend is here, and so is Danielle Savoni with our weekend forecast. And there is some active weather in the southwest, Danielle.
Yes, there is active weather here, as you can see. So these are non-severe thunderstorms that have been developing off in the mountains and moving off to the east here. So Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass, and it could clip Lethbridge over these next couple of hours. So expect on and off isolated showers in the southwest corner and some of these embedded thunderstorms as well. You can also see some thunderstorm activity around the Medicine Hat area as well. So it's an active next couple of hours, then things quiet down. This weekend looks pretty fantastic, and we'll hold on to the summery type weather. 27 degrees right now is the temperature in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, 29 in Brooks, 25 in Milk River. So when will it cool down? There's a little bit of cool weather in that longer range forecast. Those details are just ahead, Jackie.
All right, thank you, Danielle. Elementary students on the west side have a new school to attend this year. Lethbridge's West Cooley Station Elementary School has opened its doors for its first group of students. The Lethbridge School Division held an opening ceremony for its newest school today. The school was approved in 2021 after first being requested in 2008. District administration, local dignitaries, students and parents took part in the opening ceremony. After years of planning, the district is thrilled to be able to finally open the doors.
Oh, it's nice to celebrate with the kids. That's the most important part, is they get to see what it's all about and they get to understand how important it is to celebrate the opening of a new school, and to see them cheering and get excited is pretty awesome.
Just over 600 students at the school are there now, with plans to expand to 900 in the future. The University of Lethbridge is launching a new research center today. The Center for Feminist Research will be led by Dr. Tara McDonald and Assistant Professor Ryan Croschild. The center is designed to bring together scholars from across campus who are working on feminist research, whether they are faculty members, postdoctoral fellows, graduate students, or even undergrads. No one was hurt after a fire broke out in an apartment building on the west side overnight. Firefighters from 4 stations responded to the blaze along McGill Boulevard West around 12:30 this morning. Crews were able to bring the fire under control and prevent it from spreading to the neighboring units, but the residents did sustain severe smoke and fire damage throughout. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Members of Lethbridge's Fire and Emergency Services held their annual Fallen Firefighter Memorial Parade and Ceremony Thursday morning. Firefighters walked from Station Number 1 to Southminster United Church, where a memorial service was held. The annual event coincides with 9/11. Firefighters, along with sheriffs, police, and correctional staff, took part.
The 9/11 ceremony is very, very important to us. We have an opportunity to come out and thank and support the families of fallen firefighters who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's a time of camaraderie where we get to come and reflect on the work that we do.
In Ottawa, we took part in the national Fallen Firefighter ceremony that is hosted by the Canadian Fallen Firefighter Foundation and the Ottawa Fire Department. There were a lot of fire department members down there, a few more than we had here this year. It was excellent to see. It was excellent to see everyone coming together for a single cause.
During the ceremony, LFES and Paul Little's families were on hand to see his name displayed on the monument in Ottawa. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the Terry Fox Run in Canada. Plenty of runners will be out this weekend honoring the legacy of the Marathon of Hope. Quinn Keenan tells us more.
In the summer of 1980, Terry Fox began his run across Canada to raise money for cancer research. The first Terry Fox Run in Lethbridge took place September 14th of that year, just 2 weeks after Terry Fox was forced to end his run. 45 years later, and that legacy is still being felt today.
It's wonderful, yes, of course. Cancer research is something that's so important, and until we actually do finish it and reach Terry's dream of a world without cancer, it's going to be a need for cancer research.
The main community run is happening this weekend, but the Green Acres Foundation held a run for its residents today. Leading the way was Fox's uncle and namesake, Terry Fox. He's honored to see how much impact his nephew's run is still having today.
Oh, I think it's wonderful that people still remember him. Because what he did was fantastic, unbelievable. And even myself, I've had cancer for 22 years and I'm still here.
The 86-year-old is a two-time cancer survivor. He and countless others have benefited from the millions of dollars raised by and for Terry Fox. But Fox isn't giving up until there's a cure for cancer.
It's just amazing that the people still remember my nephew and still help out fighting cancer. And I'll let you know, we are winning the war against cancer. We are. We haven't won the complete war, but we are winning.
That same attitude is shared with countless community members across Lethbridge. 4.5 decades later, and people are still out every year running for a cure.
Just to be able to better the lives of people who have a diagnosis, or even the people who have a loved one with a diagnosis. They might be able to have, instead of planning for their end of life, they're planning for recovery.
The community Terry Fox Run is this Sunday at Legacy Park from 10 to 2. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The 15th annual Citizens Walkabout took place this morning. The walk brings together self-advocates, families, disability organizations, and community leaders to walk in solidarity from City Hall to Galt Gardens. The event was focused on highlighting equality, inclusion, and disability rights in southern Alberta. Despite recent cuts and changes made by the provincial government, organizers say the walk is a way for voices to be heard.
It means that people are still concerned and they still celebrate the fact that we all have a place in our communities. So people are noticing that there are changes that are happening that are not in the best interests of people with disabilities. And I think that's a big part of it. But also there's an element of celebration that, no matter what, people are here and they're willing to use their voices.
Following the walk, a range of activities and speeches took place at Galt Gardens. This year's annual Parade of Homes is set to kick off tomorrow, and it is growing in size. This year's event will feature show homes in both Lethbridge and Coaldale. Hosted by the Building Industry and Land Development, the annual home parade began in 1966. Visitors can access all the parade homes information on the app or website. 6 builders will have 20 homes on display in 9 communities. The event runs until September 28th. To find the home locations, you can visit paradeofhomeslethbridge.com. The province is spending $8 million to encourage businesses to hire younger Albertans. The new Alberta Youth Employment Incentive will be available to businesses hiring Albertans between the ages of 15 and 24. Businesses can receive a payment of either $4,000 or $7,500, depending on how many people they hire. The province says younger people are struggling to find jobs all across Canada.
These youth represent Alberta's future workforce, and it's essential that they find employment to gain confidence, build valuable experience in their early careers, and get their first start.
Nonprofit youth employment organization Careers will manage the new program. Businesses can start applying in October. The weekend is here, and a lot of us want to know what is in the forecast. Danielle is back with the answers right after this break. Plus, we'll hear how ERs are seeing more cases of pneumonia.
Okay, cool looking sky cam facing southwest here. There are pockets of showers and thunderstorms going on. And this is really the story right through the next few hours, and then it will quiet down for the overnight. So check out what it looks like on the radar. And all the yellow here, of course, these are the lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. So it's busy. These are non-severe storms. They are not packing any sort of hail, but a decent downpour, some lightning. The winds pick up when they roll through Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass, and then clipping potentially the edge of Lethbridge on and off for these next couple of hours. And there's some storms going on just to the east of the Medicine Hat area as well. So expect instability, especially Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass over to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat area and south. You could expect instability right up until about 9 o'clock tonight. So here's a look at 9, 10, 11, and you can see it does clear out. So overnight hours, it should be pretty quiet out there. So that's some good news for us. And then in the far south for tomorrow morning, it's sunny. It's a nice day tomorrow. I mean, heading into the weekend, we got a really nice weekend. It's very summery. So we're not done with summer just yet, even though fall officially begins in less than 2 weeks. Then we'll have that same development later in the day tomorrow. So closer to 4 in the afternoon, we'll get that development in the mountains again. It'll track off to the east and could get as far east as the Lethbridge area. And then we may even see a little bit going on in the Medicine Hat area as well. We're going to see the same idea for Sunday, except for Sunday, it may track further off to the east. So you could see it south of Lethbridge, Coots, Milk River, Medicine Hat, all of these areas could see an isolated shower, but it looks like it will be less severe later on Sunday and just isolated pockets of showers. So just expect that around the barbecue timing when you're outside barbecuing that you may see a little bit of a couple raindrops and even a non-severe thunderstorm for both Saturday and Sunday. Okay, smoke and our breathing. Well, it actually is pretty good. We're mainly on the low to moderate. We may have a bit of smoke peek in to the far southwest corner. So Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass, you may bump to the higher end of moderate. And timeline here is Sunday afternoon. But everywhere else looks like we'll just be at moderate to low. So pretty decent air quality. Risk of thunderstorms, East Kootenay area for the next couple of hours, quiet overnight, and then the risk of thunderstorms comes back again tomorrow later in the day, especially after 4 p.m. Fog patches developing in the morning hours and a high of 27 degrees. Crow's Nest Pass 8 overnight, hazy tonight, and then tomorrow we're looking at fog patches possible, the chance of thunderstorms for the next couple of hours, and then we have the chance of thunderstorms once again returning later in the day tomorrow. Okay, Medicine Hat, chance of thunderstorms for the next couple of hours, but for tomorrow it looks stable, it looks nice. Less of a chance of seeing that, just a 20% chance. Mainly sunny skies and a high of 28 degrees. Okay, let's look at this long-range forecast as we head into the weekend and next week. The heat is here to stay, as you can see, for the entire weekend. We're looking at those high 20s, if not 30 by Sunday. Late day shower, thunderstorm possible for tomorrow. Smaller chance of that on Sunday, but you may see a little sprinkle. And then Monday comes with a decent chance of showers and a high of 26.
There was a sharp rise in emergency room visits for pneumonia last year, especially among kids. The number of trips to the ER for pneumonia more than doubled last fall over the previous year. That's according to the Canadian Institute for Health Information. People between the ages of 5 and 19, they were the hardest hit. In the previous year, pneumonia didn't even crack the top 10 list of reasons for people making a trip to the ER. but in the latest numbers, it shot up to number 3. Many of these patients suffer from walking pneumonia, which has milder symptoms, but some cases can be very severe. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. A rugby player from Rugby, Alberta is living out her dream. We've got sports next. Lethbridge Hurricanes continue their preseason action this weekend. The Canes are in Red Deer for a tilt against the Rebels tonight, and the Canes will then return home to host the Calgary Hitmen at the visitlethbridge.com arena tomorrow night. The Canes currently have a 0-2 record in the preseason. The team enters tonight's game with a 25-man roster after placing 20-year-old Trey Johnson on WHL waivers and reassigning 2 players. Turning to ACAC action, the Lethbridge Polytechnic Kodiak soccer teams are back in action. The women's team will get the action started Sunday against the Medicine Hat College Rattlers at noon. The men's team will follow with a game against the Rattlers. Heading into the weekend, the women's team sits in 3rd in the South Division, while the men hold 2nd spot. Busy weekend for the U of L Pronghorns. Men's soccer is on the road in Kamloops, taking on Thompson Rivers University at 5:30. Tomorrow, women's soccer is hosting the UFC Dinos at 4. Men's soccer, meanwhile, continues their road trip against the UBCO Heat at 5:30. Women's soccer rounds out the weekend with another game against the Dinos at 2:15. Well, Courtney O'Donnell from Rimbey, Alberta is living out her dream, playing on the Canadian Women's National Union rugby team. The team is currently competing in the Women's Rugby Union World Cup in England after beating Scotland 40-19. They are first place in Pool B. Canada will now play in the quarterfinals. The team includes a few athletes from Alberta, including Courtney O'Donnell. She says they are proud to represent their province on Team Canada.
We're ready to go and ready to execute. There's a couple of the girls, mostly in the forwards, from Alberta, and we always pride ourselves on being the Alberta beef.
Canada faces Australia on Saturday in the quarterfinals. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, the baffling births of 8 baby iguanas without the mother ever mating. Welcome back. An iguana at a UK zoo has just given birth to 8 babies, truly shocking zookeepers. Now, zoo workers were taken by surprise because there is no male iguana at the enclosure. So how does this happen? Well, the very rare process is called parthenogenesis. That's when unfertilized eggs turn into embryos and the babies are actually clones of their mom. Zoo workers say they do what they can for conservation, but sometimes nature just takes matters into its own hands. Well, thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.